Cook-Up Academy.
I know you want it, you looking for it. I know who got it. She talk about it in every EP, leave you island. Don't nobody ever be on what she be on. This is LOL with QuiQui Symone. Life out loud.
Did you miss me?
What's up, everybody? What's up? It's your girl, QuiQui Symone. Welcome to the Life Out Loud podcast with QuiQui Symone.
Yeah, Kiki, thank you for having me today. This is Grandma Pudding.
Hey, Grandma Pudding.
Hey, baby, how you doing?
I'm wonderful and delightful. What about you?
I'm delightful and wonderful.
Welcome to the Life Out Loud podcast, and I've got Grandma Pudding with me.
Yes, you do.
I got BWonda in the building with me as well.
Yeah, right now he went to the bathroom.
He went to.
He gonna be a little minute.
He gonna be a little minute.
Yes. And you got a toilet flush like sound effect.
No, Grandma Pudding, I don't have a toilet flushing sound effect. No, I don't have that.
You need to get one so when it come around that corner.
Okay, yeah, that would have been the right moment to actually put that in there to interject that.
Can you interject that in the post-production?
No, ma'am, I can't.
Yes, you can.
How you gonna ask me, Grandma, and then tell me?
Listen, I got rank.
You got rank?
Yes, Lord, I got rank.
You should see Grandma Pudding in here right now.
Yes. I know you see it.
I see
I
it.
know you see it.
You see? Well, Grandma Pudding, welcome to the Life Out Loud podcast. I'm glad to have you here with me today.
Listen, I'm glad I can be here.
And I'm glad that you took over for BWonda for just a moment while we got started.
Yeah, now I gotta go watch my stories.
Now you gotta go watch the stories.
Yeah, I gotta go watch my stories.
Oh, okay. Well, thank you for coming to join us today.
Yeah, I'll be back.
Oh, you'll be back?
Yes.
Well, what's up, BWonda? How you doing?
I don't know, man. Grandma tripping, y'all. She always put my business out in the street.
She done put you
I
out
had
there.
to do number one. Thank you. Since you want the world to know.
I can't. Are y'all listening to
What's
us,
up,
y'all? What's up, our listeners?
Family. Oh, man.
We appreciate y'all for sticking in and tuning in with us today.
For real.
We are excited about our pink elephant of the day.
Mm-hmm.
We have a good one for us. It's really going to help me. I'm just going to be transparent and just say it's going to help me today.
There's levels to this.
There's so many levels.
Look.
It's so many levels.
Listen.
But how you doing today, BWonda?
I'm blessed.
You blessed?
I'm blessed.
And highly favored?
I'm blessed, highly favored, and grateful.
And grateful.
Yes.
It's a great thing just to be alive.
It is.
I'm grateful to be
Very
alive.
much so.
I can't remember. I think it was official John Sigler or something like that. He said grateful to be alive. He got a song with King Alico
Facts.
called Great to Be Alive. So I too am grateful to be alive. Today we've got us a heavy hitter.
Ooh.
And it should make us grateful to just be alive, to be able to go through the things that we go through.
Listen, I'm trying to tell you.
So what we want to do right now is we want to welcome our listeners, those who are listening for the very first time. Welcome to the LOL podcast. For those who are tuning in as they do every week, we appreciate you all.
Facts.
And on the Life Out Loud podcast, what we do is we talk about real life issues, different perspectives, and we try to come up with some solutions for you too. So everything ain't just always, is one-sided. Sometimes we got a little bit of different perspectives of things, and we definitely gonna have some today.
Okay.
With our pink elephant.
True.
And so before we get into the pink elephant,
Oh, my gosh.
I got a question for you.
You
I ain't
got
even
a
gonna say
question
we.
for
I'm gonna
me?
say I got a question for you, brother.
What?
Okay, so if you had to sing a song that you knew all the words to, to win $1 million, what song would that be? But it can't be your own song.
Why?
It can't, because that would be unfair.
How is that unfair?
That is unfair.
You said if I pick a song that I know
That you knew all the words
that
to.
I knew all the words to.
Yes. And
that
it can't
I
can't
would
be your
win.
song. That's the stipulation.
Why?
Because
Okay. Well,
that sounds like a kid and a parent. Why?
Why?
Because.
I'd be mad too. Okay. Mine would be Drew Hill.
Which song?
Beauty.
Oh, you know all the way.
Oh, I love that song.
I love that. I love that
Listen,
song too.
when I hear it, I always sing it.
Really?
Yes, I just get lost.
We're going to have to play that at some point. Not on the podcast because we can't, y'all.
But it didn't notice me.
Oh, okay. You know.
I love the song.
Okay, wonderful and
love the
y'all. He know the song lyrics to "Beauty" by Drew Hill.
Till the next time we speak.
I don't know whether he's shouting, whether he praising. I don't know where he.
Listen, stop acting a fool. I need you to sit in this chair and mind your manners.
Grandma
Look
put them
forward.
put you together.
That belt was gonna put them together. Yeah, I know you ain't noticed this belt.
No, I didn't see the belt. Grandma putting. I didn't see the belt.
Yes. Beauty is her name. Would be my favorite.
Okay. For me, I would say that it would have to be.
Okay.
I can't even say King Alico because he talked too fast for me. So I know I can't even do any
Don't
of
set
those.
yourself off like that. That's
Yeah,
$1 million on the line.
I
Girl, you
cannot
better-
either.
Listen, you better pick somebody like Brian McKnight. You start a bag of one.
I'm gonna go with Whitney Houston. Well, I know that one too.
Okay.
So yeah, I would say that song. I Will Always Love You. Yes. And I know He's All the Man That I Need. I love that song. I'm Your Lady Tonight. I know all the words to that. Like,
I know the lady tonight.
yeah, I don't know. I love Whitney.
Yes.
So that would be my song selection, or one of the three that I just gave you.
Okay.
So
That's a great warm-up question, though.
that is because we love music.
Even though I couldn't pick my own.
Right. I couldn't pick my own either.
If you had to sing a song that you knew all the words to win $1 million, what song would that be? But you can't pick your song. That's just like asking a person, "Are you hungry?" and then not go get anything to eat.
No, see, the thing is, we had to make it an even playing field.
That's true.
Because I don't have any songs. So that would not be fair for both of us.
Okay, I'm with you on that.
Okay.
I'm all for fairness. But when there's $1 million on the line, I'd have blessed you with 10%. I'd have blessed. You'd have been good. Just saying.
Okay. Wonderful and delightful. Wonderful and delightful.
Delightful and wonderful.
Well, BWonda, we got a heavy hitter today.
We do.
We got a real big heavy
Yeah,
hitter.
we wanted to ease them in now, you know.
And this is going, oh my goodness. I think this week I feel the herd coming in. I feel the herd coming in.
Oh, Lord Jesus.
I felt it this week.
Oh,
Cause
that is the first. I'm always feeling the herd, but she feel the herd this week.
Yes, I felt the herd this
You
week
heard me?
because man, I'm going through this.
Yeah. Yeah. If I'm honest, I'm going through this too.
Yes.
And
I'm going through this. I done been through this.
And you think it would be over, but it's not. 'Cause
Right.
There's so many layers to this.
There is.
And there's so many different people that you meet and come in contact with that you just never thought.
Yes, exactly. And so we gonna go ahead and get right into it.
Let's do it.
Into this. And this week, our pink elephant of the day is rejection. I'm gonna say that one more time for the people in the back that didn't hear it. Okay, I'm gonna say our
with a
pink
megaphone.
elephant.
For real.
I'm gonna say it again.
Yeah.
It's rejection.
All
Oh my
caps.
goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
Tommy, you know about rejection.
I have got to say that this topic right here,
Yes.
we just gonna get into it. I ain't got
We
no
ain't
more to
even gonna
talk about.
stall it,
Yeah, we
like-
ain't gonna stall it. So let's just be straight up transparent.
1,000.
Rejection hurts, right? Is like, it's not something that feel good. People take it personal. We take it personal. If things weren't good for somebody, or for you just weren't feeling something, and something just is not working in your favor, it can lead to a lot of negative thoughts and feelings, and you just never know what's gonna happen in going through that process of rejection.
And you know what's crazy, sis?
What's crazy?
It's not the fact that being rejected itself is hurtful. It's the fact that who you are being rejected by is what's hurtful.
Ooh, and you know what? I think I could see from that perspective, it's who. I also think, what is it that you're trying to get? What is actually being rejected?
Exactly.
So if it's a thing that you just really want to go out for this job, that's that thing, not necessarily who it's coming from.
Right.
But if it's a relationship, that's a whole nother, friendship,
partnership,
familyship, business-ship, the people that you deem to be very close to you, to be the ones that reject you. Oh my goodness, that's a beast.
It's a beast in its entirety,
and
all the way around.
I can say, speaking from definitely from some experience, that being rejected, it does not feel good, y'all. Like it does not feel good. Sometimes when you've been rejected, or you're being rejected, sometimes you can get into a place that you probably never thought that you would ever be in.
Exactly.
Or you never thought that, you know, when you see other people going through stuff and you're like, oh, dang, I feel bad for them. And you never really comprehend and really think that you could possibly be in that same situation, and the rejection feels really, really it's really real.
Yeah,
it's real.
Really heavy. It sticks to you.
Yes,
it's something that's hard to shake. Because it is not only if it's just that situation, and you got this going on, you got that going on, it makes it 10 times worse.
It does, because we talked in processing the process.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Rejection can be a part of that process, and rejection has its own process.
It does.
And so
and you have to sit in it, and and the crazy thing is, you're not always going to figure out why. You're not going to always figure out the
you may not always get your why.
You'll get some, but you won't get the whole totality of it, because A, it depends on the situation. B, if it's a person, if it's a place, or if it's a thing. I'm sounding like I'm in school. It just all varies on the situation.
It really does. Everybody's situation isn't going to be the same. So
at all.
How I can take rejection. Some people might be able to come out of it really quickly and be like, oh, you did that? Oh, okay, I'm out. Like, I can't believe you just did that. It was like a shock factor. But some people internalize it. I'm one of those people that internalize stuff. I'm just being, we talk about being transparent on this podcast. And so I internalize a lot of things. And sometimes it's not a good thing, because you end up staying in a place for longer than you really want to, only because you're still trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
And so I think that what ends up happening is what we need, or should I say, what we should do. And again, y'all, I'm talking to myself, because I go back and I listen to these podcasts to help me, right? To help me and to help me get through my processes as well. So one of the things that we just have to keep in mind is what can happen before rejection actually comes about. Exactly. And not to say that we're preparing for rejection, but we are just really having an awareness that if rejection comes in any form, what are some things that I can do to kind of prepare myself for it so that I don't get that big shock factor, or so that I don't wallow in something. And one of the first things is that rejection is going to happen in life, period.
It is.
Like, that's one thing that's going to just straight up, like, anybody that lives, right. Like, rejection is going to happen in some form, in some part of your life, whether you are young or old. Like, rejection is going to come.
Rejection is a part of you, like the air that you breathe. It's just going to be a part.
I would agree. Also, before rejection, some people tend to stay out of stuff because they don't want to take the risk of being rejected. But the bottom line is that you gotta take risks.
Yeah,
you gotta take risks.
And how will you know you'll be able to handle what the rejection factor, or the heaviness of it that comes behind it? If you don't take the risk, you won't be able to learn how to process it.
That's true.
And you'll continue to pile damage. You'll be damaged goods walking around.
Very, very true. You can't try to shun yourself away from everything. So if we can just kind of bring this to life, like someone who wants to be a business owner, but there are certain things that they're just like, no, I'm not going to be one because I know I'm going to need sponsorships and I don't want people to tell me no. So instead of going forth, you're just like, you know what? You X the whole project.
Exactly.
Because you don't want that no from different people. And so that's not taking a risk
at all.
And we have to be willing to be able to take that rejection.
That's called safe money. Safe money don't make money. You know what it is.
Also, before rejection can come, we have to kind of keep in our mind, like, all your eggs can't go in one basket.
Oh, man.
I've
done that.
When I tell you,
countless of times.
This right here,
that
was
part. Almost a point of no return.
Right.
Right. I'm being real with you. Like,
I think it's because of the type of individual that I am. When I give someone my all my eggs are in that basket, whether you're a friend, whether I'm in a relationship with you, whether I'm in business partnership with you, like, all of my eggs are in that basket. And it's not to say that I can't do other things, but I want to give 110% to whatever it is that I'm a part of.
Exactly.
And so it's difficult for me to just be like, you know what? I'm only going to give you a part of me. That to me is very difficult to do.
Is. You better John Legend it. Yeah. Oh, me.
Oh, goodness.
I'm just saying.
I don't know how to do that though, brother. Like, for real. Like, I'm just being honest. I don't know how to do that. Like,
and that just comes from the layers of hurt and the caution, and each person is different. Because you got to learn a person, or you got to learn a situation. It may not play out the same way. You may get to a certain step, a certain part, and then X marks the spot.
True. I don't know how to. I just,
like, for me, I'll give you an example. Like, when I first started in this industry, like, you gotta have tough skin. You gotta have that crocodile, that alligator, that tough leather, not pleather.
Tough leather.
Tough leather. And you get rejected so many times because, one, within the industry, they always want to see, what can I get out of you,
right,
that I ain't got to give as much as you giving me.
Right. That's true.
What we have to learn is we can't go into that mentality within life. Like, we just can't go. Like, for me, if I never met you, I don't know you, but I know what you've done to this person. I'm not going to treat you because of what you did to that person, because that has nothing to do with me. But I will be mindful of what you did. Right,
you'll be cautious.
I will be cautious, and because people do change. But again, I'm still gonna be cautious.
Right,
I'm gonna get a feel. I'm gonna discern, and then that will let me know what's going on. But, like, I give people 100% until you do otherwise. That makes that go down.
Right. And I think for me, just like as I was sharing just a moment ago, I do put all my eggs in one basket. I give 110%, and sometimes I put other people in front of me, and that doesn't always end up working in my favor. Especially, when you're talking about growing, being a person of growth, and sometimes your growth is stunted because you're putting all your eggs in one basket.
It's true.
And so for me, that has been a downfall for me because I don't know how to do anything other than that. To me, that is being authentic. To me, that is being real. And I don't know where that boundary is. I don't know where that cutoff is that says, okay, you could do this with them, but don't do that. Like I have I'm not even gonna say who it is, but when I was in a previous relationship some years ago, I had a family member that was just like, now Kiki, it's wonderful and delightful that she didn't say wonderful and delightful. She said it's good and all that, you in this relationship and everything. And she said, but don't never, ever, ever, give a man all you got. Never show him all your cards. Never give him everything. And to me, that bothered me because I was just like, why wouldn't I? If I'm with you, like, why wouldn't I show you my cards? Isn't the part of being in a relationship is people being able to see your vulnerability, seeing, your shortcomings, and so you can grow with them. I just don't know how.
But see, that shows you the level of hurt that she experienced.
Right. And that's what I got. And to me, that was like bitterness and resentment from her experience that she tried to put on me. And so when she was just like, don't keep your money separate. Keep all your money separate. And I was just like, what? I was like, who does? No.
You listen, you just said a mouthful because that goes to the next point, talking to other people about getting rejected. We have to be careful of what we place on other people.
That's true.
Our fears, our concerns. If they're not going to be the person to help steer you in a way that will bring you productivity out of it, that will bring you a different layer and deeper depth of understanding within the situation in a positive route,
right?
Then those people, nah.
Right.
Perfect example. You know? She's like, no, don't show him on your cards. Matter of fact, he need to do this, he need to do that. And it's just like this, and that's the type of person that will date X amount of people at the same time and just be like, okay, let's just pick and choose now. Because it's caution, and then you're going with the person that you feel that won't hurt you the most versus somebody you genuinely love that can get to that point when you really understand and when y'all connect. It's a connection that happens. But when you're looking at from a hurtful standpoint, then you're only going to go with that individual because they've done less to you. Right.
And that's kind of going to your point in regards to talking to other people is very important. Excuse me. It's very important to make sure that the counsel that you receive while you're being rejected, that makes a difference.
I'm going to move this mic away.
That makes a really, really big difference. You want to talk to other people about being rejected.
That's church.
But you want to make sure that the individuals that you're talking to can handle your situation. You don't want to talk to someone else who's been rejected,
who's still in the mode of rejection,
who's holding resentment and bitterness and things of that nature. You have to know who you can talk to in that moment, who's going to be able to encourage you in the midst of that rejection.
Listen, and this is where the beauty of mentorship comes in. Like, you can either be the mentor or be the mentee. And like, I have two like main spiritual mentors that I often go to for advice, and just share my heart with. That it's a safe space for me that I can just really like be myself and just be like, yo, this is what I'm going through. This is how I'm feeling. Like, why does this keep happening? Like, is it me? Is it something? What am I doing to attract these kind of situations?
Right.
Attracting these kind of people or attracting this kind of business. It's like, what am I not picking up, or what am I not getting?
Right. What am I not discerning?
My first thing, I always evaluate myself.
Right.
I have to.
We have to.
Because I'm part of the situation. I want to be a part of the solution and make sure that I'm not the problem.
Right. You're the common denominator.
Exactly. Because I believe that, if X amount of times, brother, what's going on with you? But I'm a type of person that I can humble myself at any given moment and learn and grow. And I feel like when you have that mentorship, it just helps you and excels you to get past rejection. It helps you to understand different depths and perceptions of rejection. Okay, well, why are you disappointed in this rejection?
Right.
Did you expect something from this?
Right.
Like, what was your expectations going into this?
That's a whole nother topic. But yes, really just tapped into something. Expectations. Rejection comes from having an expectation of a person or a thing or a situation that was failed. Yeah. So that's the only reason why, we end up feeling the way that we feel is because there was an expectation that we had.
Man, look.
I know that's a whole nother topic, a whole nother pink elephant for a whole nother day. So what we just kind of talked about what we just talked about really was more so of what happens before you get rejected. How do you set yourself up? And to just in case you are rejected. Now we want to kind of shift gears a little bit into during the rejection. What happens when you are in that space?
Dab, you in some quicksand. You trying to get out. You can't get out.
Exactly. What do you do while you're in the midst of rejection? And one of the things that we tend to do that we need to do is to kind of take some time to cool off. We got to kind of really sit back and say, okay, this really happened.
Yeah.
Let me back away from the situation a little bit to kind of look at it from a outside perspective instead of while I'm in it with my feelings, while I'm in it and I'm going through it, even though you're still technically going through it.
Right. Like
you're just kind of just saying to yourself, okay, let me take some time to cool off because you don't want to pop off.
And process.
Yes. You don't want to pop off during this process. You want to be able to process in your mind what is actually going on.
And I tell you what really helps me. I look at a lot of different shows that pertains to whatever situation I'm going through. Whether it be podcasts, whether it be motivational, whether it be just in the realm of what I'm doing. Because a lot of, like, one of my favorite people that I love to revert and go to is Pastor Michael Todd. To me, he has so much wisdom in an area that I'm dealing with. It's just like, dog, this dude is just pulling layers back like crazy.
Yes, he is.
So this helps me to not only really dissect it and process it, but it also helps me to be like, okay, don't pop off. Don't don't look. Keep it at a low tone level. Be respectful. Be loving.
Right.
Like, these are things that really help. It really helps me shape my next move, my next step.
Right.
Into how to move into if I have to face this situation.
Right.
Head on. And make sure that when you do, make sure you have like a clean, like a
clean spirit,
a clean mind, a clean heart. Like,
Don't just react.
Yes.
Don't just react. Because I think, yeah.
But don't react.
Exactly. I think that's what I was hearing you say. Not to pop off. Make sure that you are responding and not reacting. Because many times what that does, if we do react instead of respond, if we do react, what we end up doing is adding more to the situation. And now we got some more things that we gonna have to do, take care of, either
that
apologize for.
Nothing to do with
that has
them,
nothing to do with it.
but self-analyzing of your disappointment.
Right.
Of
because you didn't
had.
know how to, take care of it.
And that's understandable because
right.
which brings us to this next point. We want you to feel all the emotions that you feel.
Yes. You have to allow yourself the opportunity to feel. You have to allow yourself the opportunity to feel and to go through the process, because if you try to bury it and keep it out, keep it away, and you don't deal with it at all, then what ends up happening is you create resentment in your heart unknowingly.
Exactly.
And
bitterness.
And bitterness, right. And I know for me, I know we talked about processing the process, and rejection is one of the things that I have to process. And going through rejection, especially if you've been through rejection before, when you go through it again, you're just like, dang, what did I do? It don't matter what nobody else says. It's always like, dang, what in the world did I do to deserve this? Like, God, for real, like I've been with you. Yeah. I've been riding with you, but maybe not where I need to be, but dang, you gonna, like, God, for real.
And what's crazy? It's like, why do we always revert to what did I do?
True.
That is the first thing. Because
we always think like it had to do something with us. It had to, because I don't know any couple, I don't know any business relationships, I don't know any family, members where somebody is just like, dang, I didn't do nothing. Like, the initial thought process will think, okay, what did I do? And then once you process it, you're just like, oh, I really didn't do nothing. Or I don't see how I did anything. I may not have realized it, but I think that's just a natural thing for us to do.
It is, because even when a person lets me know, hey, it's really not you, you didn't do anything, it's hard for me to believe that.
Exactly.
It is really hard for me to believe that.
Because I'm just like, if I didn't do nothing, then why am I receiving this treatment? And so I can't put those two things together. Like, it doesn't make mental sense to me that I can be a person that did not do anything to you, that did not wrong you, and yet I'm receiving treatment as if I did. It in my mind. Yeah. That's what I'm thinking of. And so, yeah.
And also, in this process, please surround yourself with supportive people who genuinely love you, who can pour into you. Because when you're in this state of mind, in this state of, even if it's depression, you can't pour from an empty cup. Like, you need every bit of support and help that you can get during this time, so they can pour into you, so they can remind you who you are, so they can remind you of what you have to look forward to and the purpose of what you need to start doing on this earth.
That's true. That's true.
What really helps me is my purpose, knowing that, okay, I may be going through a lot, I may be going through something, but what helps me get through is helping somebody else.
Right.
And bringing the joy to their situation. In return, God fixes my situation.
And I'm just gonna keep it 100, brother. Like, I know that that's all good, and I know that that's what I should be doing. But sometimes I just be in my own little world, and like you said, it's good to have people that support you, and you have to know when people need to be around.
Exactly.
And when you need to be by yourself, which is our next point. You need to make sure that you can understand when you need to be by yourself and when you need to have people around and speaking into your life and helping you and things of that nature.
Yes.
And I can say for me, I many times just don't know. You know what I'm saying? I don't know when I need that person, you know, because sometimes we put people in the place where God needs to be at that point. And God is like, no, I need you to talk to me. I don't need you to go and run and talk to, you know, such and such. I need you to come and talk to me. And so,
go ahead, girl.
And so, I would say that just really having an understanding of when your supportive friends and family need to be around you, and then when you need time alone, and then that time with God, knowing when that is. And I struggle with that because if I'm just honest, like I will call, like there are certain individuals that I will call in a minute in place of God. Listen. And I just need to
get on my spirit. Okay, remember the situation I was telling you about, you know, what I was going through? And they let me know, like, yo, you know, it really wasn't you. You know, it was just gotta refocus, reshape, redefine. And I was going through this place of being mentally tormented. And it was, man, like I really wanted to call my best friend. I really like so bad. And it was just like, what? It's like, nope. And like, to go back to what you were saying, it is hard to know when to do that because there's so many different levels of disappointment and hurt that comes with it,
and feelings and emotions. Yes,
that it is kind of hard to like really separate and just be like, okay, I need you. You know, no, most of the time people reach out to me and be like, yo, bro, I noticed you good? Like,
right.
And then we'll get into, you know, this is what's going on, bro. But that situation that I was telling you about, I was literally being mentally tormented, and I was just like, you know what? I'm not going to nobody. I say, I'm going to give this point in time to God. Like, I'm going to just give him this whole spiel. Like, I'm going to go to you first. As we should. But if you got that go-to person, please do that.
And hopefully they're going to direct you to God.
Yes, please. And in the midst of doing that, I was able, like, God worked it out to where the person called me and we were able to really have a healthy conversation. And I was like relieved because I was able to have that conversation that I was going to have with somebody else. But I was like, no, God, like, I'm gonna give you the opportunity to do what you need to do through this.
I love that.
And it was the same day.
Wow.
Like the end of my shift at work, when I got home, you know, I let them know how I felt. And it was like, look, it ain't got nothing to do with you. and like you say, it's hard to accept that.
That is. It's hard to walk that part out, because I can definitely say that, like I said, there's times where I know when I just need to go to God, and there's sometimes when I'm just like, I get mentally tormented by different things, seeing different things, hearing different
triggers,
things.
Like,
yes,
oh
and
my God.
I have so many different triggers of different things, of all the processes that I'm going through in rejection, being that we're talking about this one right now. It just has been difficult to really just do what it is that I need to do, and I know that I'm slowing up the process. Because I am not allowing myself, I'm not taking care of myself the way that I need to, so that I can get through the process of it. And that was our next thing, was taking care of yourself.
Listen,
it's difficult trying to take care of yourself when you feel like you were the person in that friendship, in that relationship, in whatever the situation is, or you worked hard to get that thing, and then to be told no, like, that is like so difficult, and I'm doing my best right now to cry, not to cry, but it just is is so hard to learn how to take care of yourself in the midst of that. But that's what we got to do. You know, at the end of the day, that's what we got to do.
You know what? Like, what we can really learn and take away from this is like, never stop living, never stop doing, never stop being purposeful.
Yeah.
And like, for those who listen, like, please hear me clear, like, wholeheartedly. Like, you have to know who you are. You have to identify with what you want, what you like, what you love, what you feel, what you do, why you do. Like, discern, like, really self-evaluate yourself and figure out what it is that you want, what you want to do, because it will save you some time. It will save you some heartache. And my thing is, and it's okay to be in this place. Like, it is so difficult, and it doesn't take away from the feeling. It doesn't take away from the pain.
Right.
Like, you can be so genuinely and brutally honest with yourself. That is okay. The same situation, I God had me send like a prayer scripture and things like this. And one thing that really helps me know, like, in this place of not being bitter, not being resentful, when I see their posts, when I see whatever they got going on, it doesn't affect me. And this lets me know that it's a certain level of maturity within the depths and layers of rejection that comes with it.
Right.
You grow into.
Right.
So with what you're going through, you're growing through.
Right.
You're not just going through just for the sake of going through. You're growing through it.
Right. Right. And that's something that, as I was sharing a moment ago about taking care of yourself, that is so very, very important.
Self-love.
And the next, that taking care of yourself goes into our next point in regards to building your self-esteem.
Yes.
And I can say for me, that has been a struggle throughout my entire life. Of building my self-esteem because of the things that I've been through in my life that I've shared some stuff about on the podcast before, and even stuff that I've not shared, but building your self-esteem while you're going through the process, whatever little bitty thing it is that you got to do to help build yourself up, do that little bitty thing. It can be something as small as telling yourself you love yourself in the morning, or writing yourself a little note, or something very, very minute that somebody might just be like, oh, I'm gonna throw that away. This don't mean nothing. You know, make sure that you are building your self-esteem, because if you don't, you'll end up really stagnant, and you're just gonna stay there, and you're gonna wallow, and you're gonna be in pity,
self-pity.
And that's not good. Okay, I want everybody to hear. I'm even talking to myself when I go back and listen to this. When I go back and listen to this podcast, because sometimes your worth, or sometimes you think that your worth comes from the situations you're a part of, or the people you're attached to. Right. And God is saying that he loves you because he created you, not because you are attached to anybody or anything.
Exactly. And
you just got to get through that, in whatever small steps it is, do that, because those small steps equal, they end up equaling to what they need to equal up to for you to be where God wants you to be. And
and also, talk to professionals if you have to.
Right.
And like, just honestly, just back away from everything. Detach from everything. Yeah. Just be to yourself. Just try to remember when the last time you enjoyed something that you loved before that situation even transpired. just think about the things that you used to do day to day. Think about the things that used to be in your routine. Think about the things that you love that brings joy and happiness to your world.
Right.
What is that thing? And like you say, small increments, small measurements end up to even bigger measurements, because it's like nobody built Rome in a day.
That's true.
This is a day-to-day process, okay? And I think that when you understand that, you begin to really see a little more light in the situation.
I agree.
And you begin to start the healing process. And this is when you really start to allow the healing process to start. Mm-hmm. So when we're about to get into this artist spotlight. Listen, I'm so trying to give
Spotlight. He giving it a whole nother name.
Listen, I'm just trying to speak life right now.
Spotlight.
But we want to talk to you guys about after rejection and the process of that and what that looks like. So we're gonna get into our artist spotlight of the day. It comes from Duval's finest, my boy, my brother. He just came out with a whole album.
With his 10th album, a whole nother album.
Man, I love it.
A whole nother one. But this one is Brinson called No L's.
No L's.
We ain't taking no L's.
None.
Y'all,
All
we
caps.
ain't taking no L's.
Exclamation points.
All right, so we gonna get into the artist spotlight. Brinson with No L's.
None, yeah. None. Woke up with a W. I ain't listening to none of you. If you ain't talking what I'm talking, you must ain't got the sun in you. The mirror said I'll never lose. Read the scriptures, never lose. Show y'all what to do when you're living with a W. No L's, no L's, no L's. I ain't taking none. No L's, no L's, no L's. I ain't taking none. No L's, no L's, no L's. I ain't taking none. No L's, no L's, no L's. I ain't taking none. Came up like the ace. God made me a beast. Blame him for the wins. I'm just trying to keep the peace. Yeah, forgave me of my sins. Hit my soul with the bleach. Altar calls when I teach. I'm heaven weapon when I preach. I tell you, I'm taking no L's. He saved me from death. He saved me from hell. He saved me from shame. My soul I won't sell. Transgression that's gone out, whatever rebel. Snatched out the fire, that smoke you won't smell. You know what I'm ripping, it ain't hard to tell. I ain't chased the green, I gave up the kale. He posted my bail the day he was nailed. I pull up and that ain't a range. I'm trying to tell y'all that he reign. Eternity, that is the aim. 5, but this ain't a range. 12 disciples, but that ain't a gauge. Followers call on his name. That healing that take all the pain. I'm telling y'all, this ain't no game. I ain't taking no L's, that's from no one. No one. I never lose again, I walk with God's son. God's son. I ain't taking no L's from no one. No one. I never lose again, I walk with God's son. Woke up with a W. I ain't listening to none of you. If you ain't talking what I'm talking, you must ain't got the sun in you. The mirror said I'll never lose. Read the scriptures, never lose. Show y'all what to do when you're living with a W. No L's, no L's, no L's. I ain't taking none. No L's, no L's, no L's. I ain't taking none. No L's, no L's, no L's. I ain't taking none. No L's, no L's, no L's. I ain't taking none. I'm winning when I'm on a beat. You know the creator with me. Wait, I am with he. Yeah, not about me. Universe in his handle. He God, but came a Mando. Made the seas and the lando. Infinity dog, no Thanos. I'm winning, I'm winning, I'm winning. I'm out of the dirt, I'm forgiven. Forgave him my sins like a million. Lies, forgave him my sins like a billion. Yeah, I'm taking her right through the ceiling. Born again, that's how I'm living. I'm winning, I'm winning, I'm winning. If hope was some dope, you know what I'm dealing. Dubs all in my bloodstream. Wins, that be the whole team. Seeing that is a bad dream. Grins, not chasing the cream. This ain't no shade. Winning cause I'm saved. This the new wave. Fuck a first and the fade. Yeah, I ain't taking no L's, that's from no one. I never lose again, I walk with God's son. I ain't taking no L's from no one. I never lose again, I walk
with God's son. Woo. What a W. I ain't listening to none of you. You ain't talking what I'm talking. Must ain't got the son in you. Lyric said I'll never lose. Scripture said I'll never lose. Show y'all what to do. When you're doing it with a W. Woo. I love that song.
Look.
If that ain't about rejection.
Listen, I'm gonna call my brother and be like, hey, can we do like a remix compilation? That's one of the records I want to remix.
Now that song was perfect. It was fitting for what we're talking about, rejection. And I know some of you may have heard me get a little emotional. And I'm totally fine with it, y'all, okay? So I'm going to just be 100. Like, this podcast is about my life out loud, your life out loud, our life out loud. And we go through life and we go through things. And I don't apologize for being
real
human.
And being authentic.
Being authentic, being transparent.
Being in the moment.
Right, because I don't know when y'all going to listen to this.
Exactly.
I don't know if you're going to listen when we release it.
And you know what's crazy? Like, when I see Life Out Loud, it's amazing how God lines things up for you when you start to walk in your purpose and really take on the things like you say, the things that you're doing. This is part right here of taking care of yourself.
Right.
And life out loud. Like,
yes.
In this like time right now.
Yes, my life is out loud.
It's out loud.
Yes.
And it's loud.
And it's really loud.
You know. So
and a lot of stuff people hear when you have silence. Some people, sometimes your talking is louder than you actually verbally speaking and saying something. And right now my life is speaking out loud when I'm not saying a whole lot.
Yeah.
And but I'm human, you know, and I go through things, and I don't apologize for my process because it is my process. And truth be told, all of us have a process that, you know, we may not want people to see or, you know, even know that we're going through or something like that. But at the end of the day, like, you still got to go through it. I love being authentic and vulnerable with our audience because to be real with you is you have to be. And a lot of times in our genre, even within our culture, we always want to talk about it after we done went through it, after we know the process. Is like, you know, people still want to know, how did you get through? Right. What did you do specifically? Like, yeah, you talked about it, but it's just like, where's the realness and authenticity when you're in the funk? Like, yeah, and I'm gonna give y'all what I got while I'm in it. And I've been in quite a few things that we've talked about, and I never want to say that it's, oh, this is what y'all should do or what y'all can do, as I've been transparent to say, hey, this is what we going through now too. And these are the tools that we've learned as well. We're going through it and still walking through, and that we're sharing with you. Still going through and using in the current time, in real time. And one of those tools is understanding and knowing that healing takes time. Yeah, so after the rejection, healing, the healing process has to start. Yes. If you don't allow the healing process to start, you won't start. You will stay in that. You will start to get resentment, unforgiveness, bitterness. You start to walk with hate in your heart. Yeah. And you don't want that, because it'll start to spill over to new situations that may come. And it's like the old saying, bringing old baggage into new situationships. So true. Into new situationships. I definitely would have to agree with that, because healing is very, very important. And healing is something that I think that many times we don't take the opportunity to do. And continuing on with my transparency is that sometimes people can look at you in a certain light and be like, you know what, you're good. They see a smile on your face like, oh, she must be doing really, really good, but don't know what's really on the inside of my heart of what I'm dealing with. And that part is the part that God gets to see. That's not always the best part of you. People can see what you present to them, but they don't know the inside of your heart. And that could be really filthy and crusty and dirty and grimy and cringy and all of that stuff. And I have felt before that, you know, everything on the outside might look okay, but in the inside,
you crush.
I got resentment, I got bitterness, fear, doubt, unbelief, disbelief, whatever you want to call it. And all of that stuff is inside of my heart that people don't see, but they see a smile on my face. You know what I'm saying? And so that's the part that I want God to be able to free me from, because once that's free, then
you're really
free and you're glowing, and you know that outerness will show.
And you know what? And I can honestly say I felt some of those things. Like, matter of fact, that same situation I was telling you, I remember when Paul Chase came to our church. I was like, yeah, I'm going Sunday. I was in such of a place of expecting from and hearing from God and getting a word, and expecting His presence. Like, I do my own time at home, get in my place, but it was just something about I need to be there. I get there, the worship songs that they were singing, it was just like, are you serious? Be careful what you pray and ask for, because you will get it. I was shipwrecked. Like, literally, my eyes were just bawling and just watery. I'm just like, and I was just in this, it's just like the feeling of, wow, I literally feel that I gave God all of what I was carrying and what I was holding.
That's
and
good.
And then it was just, it felt freeing. And that's just some of the things. It wasn't all of it. I'm still working through through most of it. But just some of the core things that I really needed and believed God for and prayed for, to like, just like, yo, I need you to help me with this, because this is this can change me.
It really can. It really can.
This can change me. I don't want it to change me. And that's another thing, taking it personally. It's okay to taking it personal, but don't allow it to change you. Right. Like, don't allow it to override your character that you worked so hard and for so long to build. Right. I agree. You don't want to tear down the very thing that got you in this place. Right. Right. You know, you still go through stuff, but you didn't allow it to dictate your character.
Exactly. Now that right there, you just said something. You got to reflect, which leads us to the next thing, is you got to reflect on the experience of that rejection. How did you handle rejection this time around? You know what I'm saying? Like, did you handle it the same way? Did you pop off this time? Did you not pop off this time? Like, how are you handling rejection? And when, that's the thing, God knows your true heart when you don't get what you want. And that right there is something right there that
God is yours.
That I'm like,
girl, you just hit me in the gut with that one.
I'm just saying, like, I'm talking to Key. I'm talking to Key right now.
You talking to me.
I'm telling you, God sees your true character when you don't get what you want. Key. And sometimes our character is not where we thought it was. And I can say that mine has not been. And I've questioned God. I've cried out to God. I've not cursed him or anything, because I know that anything that happens to me in life is not his fault. Right. You know what I'm saying? Right. Like, he's told us what to do. It's us that ends up deterring, you know,
and walking in circles.
Yeah, and doing stuff that we ain't got no business doing, being like children of Israel, 40 years instead of 11 days.
Jesus.
And so
we ain't gonna do that, Key. We're not gonna do that.
We gotta reflect on the experience experience, right? Reflect and see, how did I handle a situation? How did I handle this? Was this the way that God would want me to handle it? Or was it the way that Key wanted to handle it? And so I have to be mindful of that. And it's also great, continue to take risks. Don't allow the rejection to stop you from moving forward.
Exactly.
And whether that's moving forward in another business partnership, whether that's another relationship with someone, or even having friends, because I hear a lot of females say, no, I ain't got no female friends, or I don't do friends, I don't do females and stuff like that, because one female friend hurt them. So it's just very important to continue to take the risk. Just be led by God to have the right people around you.
Key, you set up for the next podcast.
I did.
Do you really want it?
Do you really want it?
Yes. And
yes.
Okay. And like, I would love to get in our thought of today and really even encourage them even the more through this.
You want us to go into the thought of the day?
Thought of the day.
The thought of the day.
Because it ties in with like healing, taking time, making sure that the situation itself is already personal.
Okay, so let's get into
This is the thought of the day.
Thought of the day. Thought of the day.
Thought of the day comes from Mark Amend, and it states, rejection doesn't mean you aren't good enough. It means the other person failed to notice what you have to offer.
And we can end the podcast right there. We can end it right there. I think that is great.
Because, man, there's still layers where
I know, right? It's still so
still
much that's in there. Like you said at the top of the podcast, there's layers to this. There's layers to rejection.
And this is not the end of your life. This doesn't define you. This doesn't make you.
Right.
This is not who you are. It's an experience. It's a moment. It's something that happened in time that affected you personally, but it doesn't have to run you personally.
I agree 100%. Well, everybody, that has been our pink elephant for the day, rejection.
Yes.
And I really, really felt this to be a great topic, of a very great thing to talk through and talk out, and look forward to listening to over and over and over again.
And can I be honest with you?
Be honest.
This has helped me with another layer.
Awesome. I'm glad. Yes, brother.
Like this
I'm
continues
glad.
to give me life every time we do our podcast.
It gives me life too,
it really
brother.
Encourages me.
For real. It really, this is very therapeutic and very helpful to me. So if this particular podcast was something that you enjoyed and liked, make sure that you hit that subscribe button on YouTube at LOL with QuiQui Symone.
Facts.
And BWonda, can you go ahead and give them your handles before we get out of here?
No ground, no glory.net. You already know. And official BWonda, official BWonda. And that's on Twitter and Instagram. Facebook, official Boy Wonder, official BOYWONDA. Also, you can subscribe to the YouTube channel, youtube.com/No Ground No Glory. We have videos, we have parodies, we have everything
all kind of
you
stuff.
need. We got all kind of stuff.
All kind of stuff. And make sure that you are subscribed again to the Life Out Loud podcast. That's LOL with QuiQui Symone on YouTube, QuiQui Symone. Also, you can follow us on IG. You can see all of the cool stuff that's going to be there too. We got a couple of surprises that are coming to that particular platform, so make sure that you go and follow us on IG at LOL with QuiQui Symone.
Facts.
And you can, if you want to follow me personally, you can just go to QuiQui Symone on IG as well, and that'd be wonderful and delightful. So until next time, we hope you guys have really enjoyed and got something out of it. We will talk to you guys later.
I know you want it, you looking for it. I know who got it. She talk about it in every EP, leave you out. Yeah. what she be on. This is LOL with QuiQui Symone. Life out loud.